we keep trying to find those ways to make it faster and more efficient for people who are working for us.
Kathleen, thanks for joining us today. Can you just give us a little background, introduce yourself, and just a little background on who you are, and how you got started in fire protection?
My name's Kathleen Balch. I'm with Boyer Fire Protection in St. Louis, Missouri. I got started in fire protection actually with my brother. He was running a branch of another company in St. Louis, and someone was going out on maternity leave, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was a substitute teacher. And he said, hey, I got someone going out on maternity. Could you help me out for a couple months? I did it, and then after that time, he was like, hey, would you like to stay on? We want to get our service department going, and I need some help. And so I stayed and worked with him for like 5-6 years. And I knew it was always his dream that he wanted to start his own company. And he was like, are you interested? You want to be a partner with me? And I was like, let me think about it again. So we started our company in 2006. And here we are today, 18 years later.
That's great.
We've grown, and so it's been pretty exciting.
I also work with family members, so I know there's some challenges there. How was it like working with your brother?
It works for us. We're from a big family. We're both kind of middle children, so we kind of tend to get along. We work very well together. Honestly, we don't always see eye to eye, but we don't hold it against each other. We move on, we make a decision, and we go with it, and it's been a nice partnership. When we do get together, we're always kind of like talking about it, thinking about what the next step is. And, with our kids, Richard's is my brother. He has 2 of his children in it. I have 2 of my children in it. So it always is on the back burner, or we're always talking about something,
Oh, yeah. So when you guys decided to start your own, what were the goals you came up with when you said, okay, we're gonna do this? Did you set goals? Did you establish them early on? Like what was like your vision?
Well, our vision was we wanted to, get into, we started off, of course, in the contracting business, and we did really believe, we really did have a goal of bringing on service, but we knew it was going to be a couple of years down the road. So our vision first was to get up and running as a contractor, get design, grow that part of our business first and just kind of getting set up. And then we thought, service will come within a few years. We knew we had to grow the contracting part at the beginning to get our foot, to just get moving on stuff, to get the customer base. It's harder, I think, to get the service customer base, to make your company be successful right off the bat. With the contracting job, you get larger jobs. It's easier to kind of get your momentum. And then service kind of trailed after it.
So was the kind of idea was we'll do the install and the contracting side, and then more people know who you are, and you'll maybe get some inspection contracts and service work out of that. Was that kind of the plan?
Right. We figured we could at least go after the projects that we put in, to go after the contracts, to do the inspections. And, we knew that would come. Having work somewhere else, we knew service would take time. And we were okay with that, Plus the other part of just getting the business off the ground took a lot of effort, at the very beginning.
I can definitely see that, finding the office and then hiring folks. Were you able to tap into your existing network to do that? Knowing industry contacts, et cetera?
For us, with customers and for general contractors, yeah, because Richard had been in the business probably for already 15 to 20 years. Yeah. So he had a good reputation and was trusted in the community with general contractors. The challenging part for us was just getting the business up, the licensing, the accounting, the insurance, the bonding. When you come from a big company, everything's ready for you. And when it's you, it's like, oop, we got to figure this out. We worked through all that, and that was a couple of years. It just kept, it was more and more and more.
Yeah. Did you, any big mistakes that you can remember that you were like, man, I wish we realized this was going to be an issue before it happened?
We never had any really huge business hiccups, but we still laugh about our beginning with the IT company that we used when we had started. That's what everybody was using, the backup tapes.
Yeah.
So we would put those tapes in every night, and then we found out years later when we moved on that nothing was getting taped all those years, you know. So we still laugh about the beginning of our network and, you know, that kind of thing. But we don't have any big mistake that cost us anything. And when it's your money, you tend to be very conservative and kind of calculate it with what risks you take.
And then fast forward to today, how do you guys find new business? Is it mostly on the install side to start, or just talk us through that process?
We do a lot of networking for contracting, and then now for service. Again, we're also involved with a lot of organizations. I think we get recommended a lot. We have our reputation helps us tremendously. We do have some outside sales, but honestly, the reputation has been a huge thing for us. And we have people, you know, we do contact, we do follow up. Our website has been very helpful for us. You know, that's another big leap. When we started the business years ago, it used to be phone books and ads. And then it was like, oh my gosh, now we got to spend this money on a website. Is it going to be worth it? And as soon as, you know, we had the website up and running, we landed a nice job because somebody found us. So we're like, okay, that just paid for itself. We do a lot of follow-up and customer service with our customers. And I think now for us, for reputation-wise, it's kind of like with property managers or people who run businesses that move to the next business. They're happy with us, so they bring us along. And so that's been a really big part that's kind of helped us a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Do you mind sharing, like roughly where you are now, like how many employees across the entire organization?
We're at 78 people. We have an office in St. Louis. We have a small remote office in Southern Illinois, and we also have an office we just opened in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's great. So you're running all service technicians out of all three offices right now, or?
Out of two, out of the Missouri and then out of the Southern Illinois, because Madison is just up and coming.
What trades do you guys mostly like to focus on?
We are sprinklers, and then we just got into fire extinguishers and e-lights last year.
Oh, great.
So right now, those are the two that we're in. We hope maybe in the future we'll add other pieces of the life safety, but right now we don't want to get into anything that we're not experts in.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What was the reason to jump into the fire extinguisher side?
Just so many customers were asking us. And then, you know, also too, I landed a big account, and it was time to just like, okay, we got to do it, you know. So it pushed us over the edge. We, you know, took our shop guys, we went up for training, set up our shop. Plus I had some experience with it from the previous company, so we knew we could do it.
That's great. I mean, you mentioned your website. What are some other tools you invested in that just helped you grow your business?
Well, actually, InspectPoint helps us. You know, we made the leap years ago to get away from paper. Before we used you guys, we used other programs, and that was another, I don't know if I'd say vision or goal with our company. We knew we had to invest in technology.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be a piece, and, you know, so we always embraced it. You know, that was a hard one for some people that work for us, like, no, you can't do that. It's like, we're going to do it. So everything is electronic. We're very organized. We're methodical. And we keep trying to find those ways to make it faster and more efficient for people who are working for us.
No, that's great. I mean, just moving on from present day, you mentioned expanding into extinguishers and possibly other trades. Like, what are the future, if any, expansion plans for your business?
Well, I mean, we're always looking to grow and take advantage of any opportunity. Actually, my brother has some pretty lofty goals, and so, you know, we're kind of behind the scenes. We shake our heads sometime, but, you know, we've been lucky that so far, we've worked hard to reach our goals. So it's been very satisfying, but it's like you feel like you never take your foot off the pedal. You know, you're always pushing.
Do you guys have a good partnership where he might be the one who shoots too high with the goals, and you try to walk them down a little bit, or what's that dynamic like when you do your yearly planning?
Yeah, he has the high goals. We bring him back down. We know realistically maybe where we're at, but then he always, when we reach the goal, he's always like, "See, I told you. See, I told you." No, we have a good accounting team that helps. We pretty much know too where we can grow. Labor's sometimes a hard thing for us to get. We know if we can push beyond some of these goals or what we need to put them in place.
I was going to ask you, is hiring the field technicians and the sprinkler fitters, is that usually the bottleneck for your growth, for the most part, or?
It is probably right now for like service. We could actually, it'd be nice if we could have a couple more people. All our employees, we feel like we got a great team, and so in plus two, we are very picky about who we want to work for our company, and especially with service, they got to fit the model of all of the rest of our people that are in our department.
And then as we wrap up, if you could give other business owners in fire protection your number one top piece of advice, what do you think that would be?
Well, number one, this is not an easy business. We think it's, a difficult business. But our top piece of advice is we push our people. Always do the right thing. Always install it the proper way. The techniques, what the manufacturer recommends, what it suggests. Don't take any shortcuts. And same when we do our service work and inspections. It's like, you don't always have a happy customer when you got to let them know something's wrong, but we got to let people know, and so we just don't get in, get out. We really try to help people realize if there's issues and get them fixed. So we just kind of always think if you do the right thing, you go home and you sleep good every night and you feel good about the product you put out.
That's great. I mean, I think that's a great spot to end this. Like, Kathleen, I really appreciate the time. This was a great conversation. Personally, want to thank you for being an early adopter in Spec Point. You helped us, make the platform what it was, and we appreciate the time you've helped us improve, and hopefully it's helped you guys.